All right, Drip, the Ask the Developer article came out from Mario Kart World. Aren't you thrilled and excited to talk about it?
I'm so thrilled and so excited.
Yeah.
So thrilled.
There's a couple interesting things we want to go over here, and we're going to start with the fact that this game, it's been in development for 8 years, which is not clickbait. It's not fake news. It's real. This is from the Nintendo's developer article. It started development in 2017. Thoughts on that, Drip?
It makes sense. I guess it makes sense why we didn't get one for so long when they decided this wasn't going to work on the Switch 1.
Right.
I mean, how long were we talking about? Oh, Mario Kart 9 is going to come. They're not going to wait that long. I mean, I remember back 2021, 2022, we were talking about, oh yeah, Mario Kart 9, it's got to be like the holiday game. And then it came and went and nothing ever happened. We did get the booster courses though.
Yes.
I think that's when we knew, we weren't going to see Mario Kart 9 or World that we know now until at least the booster course stuff was done.
Right.
And they had a roadmap for that.
Let's go over the timeline quickly for people who aren't informed on what's going on here. So again, it started in 2017. There's a logo and a map included. Like they had this thing. This game was literally conceived 8 years ago. And as they were developing for this game, of course, as Nintendo does, as really any game developer does, they want to add more and more to the game. And by 2020, they kind of were at a crossroads because they were like, all these sacrifices we have to make, because they were considering, obviously, first and foremost, lowering the visuals for their ambitions to come to fruition, lowering the resolution of the game, which you definitely don't want to. You can't go from deluxe, which is 1080p, smooth 60 FPS, to a lower than 1080p with, and they were also considering this 30 FPS with frame dips is what they was talked about here, is like 30 FPS and not even that stable because of all the things in the game they wanted to do. I mean, obviously this game was open world from the start. So
yeah, people would have not been happy.
No.
About the 30 frames per second thing, for sure. Because wasn't Mario Kart 8 on Wii U also 60?
Yeah, 720p, but yeah, 60 FPS.
Yeah, I think that would have really made some people angry. They
Most Mario Karts are 60 FPS.
For that, that's for sure.
I can't recall a Mario Kart that wasn't 60 FPS. I'm sure there was one, but I can't recall off the top of my head. So, I mean, it would be a big change for the series. And, while it would be cool to have an open world game on the Switch 1 that's at Mario Kart, and like this game would have been cool on the Switch 1, but I think they made the right decision because by 2020, they kind of pivoted and they went, you know what? As I said here in my notes and last night, they just kind of said, fuck it. They're not going to make this game. They're not going to make this game for Switch 1. They're not going to make these sacrifices. They're just going to start developing the next game in the series for the next system where they actually can, make the game they want to make.
Yeah. I mean, this would have been hype, and then when people got it and played it, disappointment.
Yeah.
It would have been one of those games. This would have gone in like the strikers category of just a bad sports game. Just not good.
What was the last bad Mario Kart? Like, I can't think of the last bad Mario Kart.
There wasn't one. There hasn't been one. They've all been good.
They've all been good, and I think that's
all of them.
That must be a big reason why they decided to do this, because they know that this series is just a staple in the.
Yeah,
it's created a category. It created kart racers.
Yeah, it really would not have probably been great on the Switch. I mean, thinking about what all's in there now. Like how much stuff, not even just the resolution and the frame rate, but like all the other stuff they would have to take out to make it even run. There's just too much stuff going on. And I mean, the way everything looks and the way that they have like all the visuals set up, like the Switch 1 could not have done that. The way they're doing it right now, the Switch 1 would not be able to handle that.
Indeed. And actually, I want to pull up a picture here. This is some cool ass concept art I wanted to show you. So like there's this cow driving in like, a tow mater pickup truck. And it's incredible. Like this was concept art from the game's inception, and they obviously had all the cow was like a staple. They're like, we want cow in Kart. Yeah,
that's exactly where I went when I got to play it. I mean, I was like, yep, where's the cow? That's who I'm going to be. I don't know. I always love seeing these stories like this where it's like this has been a secret for 8 years. Like this is what we've been working on for 8 years behind the scenes. Like it's nuts. Like we think we know what Nintendo's doing, and then like this is what's been going on behind the closed doors for 8 years. Yeah, they have like a full map. This map's a little bit different though. I mean, obviously that's changed. I'm surprised the name stuck so long too.
Well, I mean, it's an open.
But I mean, it makes sense. I don't know what else you'd call it. I
Mario
guess
Kart World. It's the open world Mario Kart game. What else do you call it? It makes total sense of based off what the game itself. So, and some keynote features they talked about.
Ask the developer.
Yeah, ask the developer. Thank you. Of course, that prototype map and logo, and actually there's two logos there. There's that racer style, and then the bottom one that's kind of like close to what we got, but it's like that gradient. Cow.
Yeah, well, and that font, that looks like, I mean, it's Mario Kart font, but it reminds me of like older school Mario Kart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
They use that in Mario Kart 8, I think, too, but I don't know. That looks like the regular, like the original Mario Kart font.
Right. We also got the day and night cycle, which is, that's going to be pretty cool because I think that they called out like they want to see the areas they've created, this world they've created. They wanted to make it realistic and day and night cycle to be able to see the areas they've created in day and night. I just think that's
weather too.
Weather, yeah, it's pretty cool. I thought this was most interesting though. You can drive on water in this game. I think we saw that. You drive on the water. And apparently they used Wave Race 64 as inspiration for the mechanics on how you drive on water, which I think that's pretty cool.
That makes sense.
That game was phenomenal. By the way, Wave Race 64 is an underrated title. You can play it on Switch Online right now if you have the expansion pack in the 64 app. Really underrated
if you haven't
game.
Played it.
It's really good.
It's great.
And it's so satisfying, riding that wave up and then doing your and just keep on going. It's really good mechanics, and I can't wait to feel what it feels like in a modernized, Mario Kart game on Switch 2. That's gonna feel incredible, I imagine.
Yeah, I actually did a lot of whenever we were doing the knockout thing. When you do the knockout race, when you're waiting for everybody else to load in, instead of just sitting like on Mario Kart 8 where you do like on the world, you get to just free roam. You can do whatever. And I actually went directly towards the water just to see how far I could like get out there. It makes sense. The wave race stuff, like now that you've said that, I'm like, yeah, that's what it feels like. That's actually exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
Maybe not the turning and stuff. The turning is a little bit, it doesn't feel like wave race, but yeah, the way you bounce on the water and stuff as you're going like over the waves, it is a lot like that.
Yeah. So just, dude, like this game was baking for 8 years. It makes me, I think that also kind of tells me about why we haven't seen a 3D Mario, to be honest with you. I think that's why we haven't seen one yet. I think that Nintendo did this with a lot of their games. They just kind of were in development for the Switch because obviously first few years of the Switch's life we're kind of like, I don't know how this is going to go. Is it going to be good? Because they just came off that failure. And by 2020, they're like, all right, yeah, this thing's great. But then the pandemic hit and kind of changed their plan. So I bet you a lot of, I think Donkey Kong is only the first, obviously it's the first big original title for the Switch 2.
Yeah, but you mean like a lot of these were meant to be like sequels on Switch 1.
Yeah, I bet you Donkey Kong was supposed to be on Switch 1.
No, we're not doing this on
right.
1. We're going to wait until we have the power to make it do it, just to do it right. And that's the interesting thing too. I was telling you that the other day. Like the fact that now we're looking at this and it's like, we used to see Nintendo just do what they did with whatever they had, but now they are also looking at this like, we need more power. Like not just for third parties. They're like, we need more. We need more to be able to push this stuff further, which is great because I don't think that's a problem that they were really having early on, and probably another reason we didn't see like super powerful Nintendo consoles for a while because they didn't really need it. You know what I mean? Now, with the way that they're pushing things, it's not really like graphically. It's just like different styles of gameplay, bigger experiences. They just need the power. So, I mean, that's good for everybody.
Yeah, I love that this is the direction Nintendo's taking. I think it's so refreshing. They're still getting flack because their games don't look as high fidelity as PlayStation and Xbox. I get it. First of all, they don't have the power to, but number two, they still have this very cartoony art style, and just overall, you can't see the whiskers on Mario's mustache quite yet. You can't see his 5 o'clock shadow around his mustache where he's shaved. You know what I mean? Like I get it, but they're not using the power in their consoles to give you extra whiskers. They're doing it to make the games more fun. Yeah. And like, there's plenty of PlayStation games I've played that are really good. Like God of War is one. Gameplay is really fun. Not Ragnarok, but the first game I played some of the first God of War. It's really fun, but it's not. It didn't capture me for more than 5 hours. I was kind of done with it after 5. I'm like, it's fun, but like,
yeah, I mean, unless you're into that story, it's a story.
Yeah,
They're very narrative driven games.
Yeah, and
these
and I
are
like,
just fun experiences.
I like narrative driven games, but like I'm
Yeah,
just not
me
super
too.
invested in it. And if you're trying to capture a new player like me, it doesn't capture me that well because it's really just kind of like, yeah, it's a lot like another narrative driven game with simple mechanics. You know, I mean, I might as well just play Zelda if I'm going to play a game like that. The point I'm trying to get at here is like look at Donkey Kong in that game. They're utilizing the hardware to not make Donkey Kong the most realistic gorilla you've ever seen. They're doing it so they're using the power to make the world interactive, to to add gameplay features that you couldn't do without more power, and just like the whole concept of destroying the game you're playing on in real time is just it takes a lot of power to do that, and it's incredible that that's the feature instead of just like, oh my god, look at the shadows coming off of each individual hair strand. Like, who cares? Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Watch a movie. Watch a movie. Go watch Godzilla if that's what you want.
Have they done the Ask the Developer for Donkey Kong yet?
Not that I know of. They might have, but
yeah, I haven't. We might cover that. Keeping up with all of these, but yeah. I wonder if they would end up saying the same thing about Donkey Kong or any of these other big games we start to get announced. Because, I mean, think about it. We're getting into June, too. Like, there's going to be a Direct soon. After this thing launches and they've got it out for a month or two, like, we're going to see a Direct. We're going to start seeing more of these games that are just, like, bigger experiences than, anything we saw really on the Switch. And I would not be surprised at this point if we learned that a lot of them, like you said, were just, like, we're saving this. Like, we're not going to do this now. We're going to be able to do it better later. I bet we're going to see a lot of that. But other than that,
yeah, not sure if we highlight that specifically, but yeah, they obviously in 2020 they transitioned to the booster pack. Just to clear that up, they transitioned to the booster pack.
Yeah, instead of trying to put this out there, like, no, we'll just add, which they did a good job. I mean, they basically gave us a new Mario Kart game.
Yeah, it was fun. It kept the interest alive for at least another year.
What was it, 24 more tracks?
Yeah, it was a 2-year span where they released the tracks
in the game. Like, there's 24 tracks in the base game.
Yeah.
Like,
96
they gave us
tracks.
A whole nother game. It's fine.
It was like 96 tracks by the end of it, I believe. It definitely kept that game alive. 8 Deluxe was a great game. I mean, it just really was. Yeah. And it's going to be hard to follow that up. I think that's why a lot of people are kind of upset with, including yourself, $80 Mario Kart. It's like, well, you're following up the best Mario Kart they've ever made. It was only $60 and probably should be discounted further now, but instead we just have a new game that's more expensive. And I kind of get that.
Yeah.
I kind of get that. If 8 Deluxe wasn't as good, like, for example, if Strikers 2 is $70, are you going to be like upset? If it's a fantastic game, are you going to be upset? Or are you going to be like, that game, the first one sucks, so let's move on to the next Strikers?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing. The older ones were good, and then everyone was expecting this one to be good, and it just wasn't.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Well, you understand my point, though? Like I think 8 Deluxe makes World harder to palate because it's such a good game at a good price.
I mean, if that's true, if it's true what they say about their games and the prices they're going to be charging for things based on development times and experience, $80 is probably something we should probably get used to for these big games. The next 3D Mario is going to be $80 then.
TBD.
I guarantee they've been working on that one forever.
I don't know. I TBD, because like, who knows?
Yeah,
maybe the next Zelda might be just $70 too.
Maybe. I mean, maybe they're seeing all this backlash on this and they're like, yeah, let's just not do that again. They're like, yeah, we'll just keep it at 70. Let's not. But now with Microsoft going to 80 and stuff too, they're gonna be doing it too. We're gonna be seeing $80 prices for games. A lot of them, I'm sure.
We will. I just don't think it's a foregone conclusion that every game coming out next is going to be $80, especially the ones that are.
No. Yeah, I don't think every single one. I'm just saying a lot of these bigger ones, I feel like if they went through this cycle of, let's save it for Switch 2 and develop it for, crazy amounts of years, those are going to be the ones that they charge $80 for.
Yeah. Cool. Well, you guys can catch us live every week at Wednesday. Yeah, at Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, we had a late night last night. Dripper and I talked after the podcast last night. It was a good time.
We did.
But I'm a little sleep deprived. But yeah, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, live on the channel. You can obviously download this podcast on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And yeah, man, we are less than 2 weeks away from playing the Switch 2.
This time, 2 weeks from now, we'll be
making a video
playing
holding
Mario
the
Kart.
Switch 2.
Yep, we're playing Mario
right
Kart.
here this morning with next Thursday or 2 Thursdays from now. We'll be making a video with our Switch 2s. But for now,
wonderful.
But for now, we're going to catch you guys next week.
Later.